What's going on, my Atomic Autoworks friends? So I love our new theme that we're going with, where we're actually talking to you guys and trying to explain and kind of just keep it a little closer and more personal with our customers who are out of state, because we know how difficult it is. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this video actually is because I had a customer come in who drove a few states away to come and pick up some products. He was very patient with us. He was very kind and very nice guy. We've done pretty much everything wrong this last couple of years with this whole COVID stuff, and I kind of feel like our customers need to, or not need to, deserve to know what's going on, and we like to keep everything transparent. And our customers that are good people, like Scott was, where they really understand what's going on and they work with us, it's great. And it's great to get the products to them. And it's also difficult because, like, when we're talking, he's trying to build a project that has emotional value to him, personal value to him. It's not just something you went out and purchased and drive around, and he wants the whole feeling of having a project built. And we love to be a part of that, and it's hard to convey that to our customers now because we're shorthanded like everybody else in the country. We all hear about dealing with COVID, what small business has done and how it's impacted small businesses. But a lot of people don't really get it. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I don't understand it. It's very frustrating. It's very irritating, and it makes me angry. Here's a trilogy and kind of how it went in our segments of, when COVID hit, it was scary. Nobody knew what to expect. Shut everything down. They started paying our employees more money to stay home, so everybody's home. You can't blame them. Can you blame them? You sit home, do nothing, and get paid more money than if you go to work, and not knowing if you can go to work. And then plus, with all of the restrictions and stuff we had to deal with for COVID, if someone's exposed, they're out of work, it was such a nightmare in the beginning because you just don't know what to do. And plus, nobody was working. So we were terrified. We didn't know what to do, what to expect. All of a sudden, our local business really dried up. A lot of the small stuff that, cars that people used to drive every day that needed to have small repair jobs and stuff for upholstery and scratches and things like that kind of dried up because no one's going anywhere. And then a lot of our older customers who spend more money on some of the huge projects, they were scared. They didn't, they were more high risk. Nobody knows what to do. So they kind of dried up for a while. So a lot of their projects went on hold. And that was scary. For us, luckily, we have our mail order side where we manufacture parts for other companies and we sell them online ourselves. And those started to go like crazy, which is great. However, you have no employees to do it. So we struggled through it. And we had a few good people working here that we worked really hard. And it was great because there was times where you're like, we set these goals. We have to produce this amount to get on, to be able to get to a completion. Like if we have 100 orders, if we get, do 20 a day, we'll get there and boom. So we would hustle, and it was kind of fun at first, and we're trying to knock them out. But every time we would get to that goal, there'd be more because we're selling to, Japan, Germany, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Sweden, Switzerland, all over the world. And everybody is home building their cars. And I love that aspect of it, cars and bikes and trucks, because it kind of like reminds me of growing up as a kid where we used to go out into the garage and tinker with stuff and do stuff, and life wasn't so fast paced and crazy. And it also is funny because when I was talking to Scott, he was saying where he's from, it's actually a lot calmer than it is here. It's like, it's nice to know that there's still parts in our country where it's like it was, in the 70s for us, where you're not chaos. We have a lot of that New York influence coming into Connecticut where it's just go, 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 work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day just to pay your bills. And it's just a kind of a fast-paced environment. And it was nice to have that feeling of everybody home working on their stuff, building cool stuff. And, a lot of these Corona bills that are coming out are insane because people had so much time on them. Excuse me. Speaking of Corona, sorry. But anyway, so we were selling a lot of products, which was great. And then you still can't get employees, so we have that we're dealing with. The work's coming in, we're getting farther behind because, whereas you normally would have 20 technicians and 7 office staff, now you have like 1 technician, 2 technicians, no office staff. So it was really, really difficult. So we're working day and night just to try to maintain some sort of schedule and plan, and every day it would change. And then all of a sudden, one day, boom, you can't get any materials. Nothing. Everything's gone. It's just like your foam's on back order. Every single thing's on back order. Now what do? You have hundreds and hundreds of orders to have to go out, and now you have to start calling people back. They're calling them back saying, there's been a back order. The estimated date is 6 weeks. And everybody's like, no problem. We'll wait the 6 weeks. We understand. Everybody was compassionate in the beginning and understanding. And then 6 weeks go by. We call up to get our materials. They're like, oh, it's going to be another 6 to 8 weeks. So now you get to call the people back and say, they said another 6 to 8 weeks. And your customer's like, okay, we'll deal with that. Well, that's great. And I understand that that's so compassionate of our customers to do that. not understanding that we already purchased a lot of this stuff. We paid for this stuff. It's custom. It's not like, we order a set of pink seats for you and make them. We're going to be able to sell them to anybody else. The odds of us selling that for the specific model, make, model, and year, and all that type of stuff in a specific color is very rare. We started getting a lot of order cancellations. We had to refund, hundreds and hundreds of orders. It was insane just because we couldn't handle it. You have, 250 people, previous customers calling you, 250 current customers calling you, 250 future customers calling you every day with no office staff. It was just impossible. I know from an outside standpoint, sometimes you hear this and you're like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Trust me, it's that bad. When you can't find employees, it's really tough. So what we ended up doing is we started running ads just to come in here and answer the phone, because my dream always is to be able to have a customer come in and give them an experience. Let them walk them right through the whole build process, everything we do. And we did that for years. And now it's like it's something so easy, it's so difficult when you don't have the staff to do it. And we couldn't find. At some point, you're like, are there anybody out there? Like, why is nobody working? This is insane. Just to answer a phone, you can't even get someone to respond to an ad. And never mind technicians, it was impossible. So anyways, that brings us to now we have nobody to answer phones, nobody to call back, nobody to do that, and bombarded with orders. So that's why we ended up just crediting people back on the custom orders. We did everything we can to try to fulfill them, to get them out. And it has been a nightmare because materials that we use, like our heavy hitter materials that we use, our suppliers used to have 50,000 yards in stock. All of a sudden we call up, they have no yards in stock, or they put us on a list, the next 10 yards they're getting versus 50,000, and you're going to get 2 yards of that, and they would split it up. So that's really, really difficult to schedule your work now, not knowing when the material is going to come in. So now we went through that hurdle of no employees, can't get materials, and then trying to just fight through dealing with that process, which was just very tiring and very overwhelming, to jump to the next process, which is materials start to come in. So now you're excited. Okay, so you go call this person up. We got the materials in. We're building it. We're shipping it. They're doing that out. Great. And then the price increases just went through the roof. And they were climbing a little bit, but it got to the point where it was just overwhelming. What do you do? So some of our seats that we make, we were shipping out and customers were paying $85 for shipping. We don't do markups and all that other stuff like people do with shipping and try to beat up our customers. We try to keep everything very fair. So what ended up happening is sometimes the shipping costs a little more and we eat that or whatever. But now all these orders go through, all these custom orders that we're building, and our shipping goes from 85 to 160 or 149 for the same thing, which is huge. When you think about 200 orders and then you have to add in all of that shipping cost, that just comes right out of the profit, which there is no profit now because our materials, we were getting our foam, getting emails for foams, and it would say 10% increase, 30% increase, 20% increase. It was just every month, this increase, and it was killing us. The same thing with all of our vinyls and fabrics and leather. Well, leathers actually didn't do that bad, I don't know why. Maybe more people were home having hamburgers, so we had more hikes or something. But so anyway, so now we have to deal with that. So we had to increase our prices of our seats. So when you look at it, because we get constantly oh, I looked at your seats a year and a half ago and they were this much, and now they're this much. And you're like, well, if you think about it, everything doubled. Our seats didn't double. We went up 30%, but our materials have doubled and some cases tripled. So with that into perspective, now it's another battle that we're trying to deal with and try to overcome and work with our customers to do that. And it is tough, and it's not just the upholstery side. We look at our paint supply, our paint side. We go to get a quart of catalyst for our clear coat. A quart of catalyst is $200. So you're going, how do you eat that when you already have quoted prices and quoted jobs and all that stuff? So there's all these burdens that we had to deal with through COVID that people didn't understand. So when we tell you we're an American company, things are made with these hands and our rest of our team's hands, that's what we are. We're not buying stuff from overseas, and we're not just pretending and doing all that stuff. And that's kind of the transparency we try to do with our videos, is show you we're doing it, we're making it. You're given a handcrafted part by people in your industry who love what we do. We try to stay current with what's going on, know the best of the best, and provide it to you, and also give you the best service. That brings us to our another issue, and that is labor. When we tell people there's a labor crisis in the US, or it's in the whole world, but I am more concerned with the US because that's where we are right now. The labor crisis, you do not understand how bad it is. You'll hear everybody chanting on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok about buy American made. We need to bring all the manufacturing to America again. And you're preaching to the choir. I have said that my entire life. I feel we should have never lost so much manufacturing. I understand some of the pollution and restrictions are bad, and it's a bad environment, and all the impact is really bad. And to send it to another country where they don't care and they just do the bad stuff, it's not making us any better. We need to do our part and make things better and actually do the manufacturing here in a clean, professional manner. It's just tough because you have your dollar price of what you sell stuff at and price of what it costs, and it's so much more in America to do that. And when you abide by all these rules and regulations, it's really challenging and tough. And nothing is easy. If we do bring back more manufacturing, which problem is we have nobody to do it. All the computers in the world, all the CNC machines in the world, you still need your hands and your brain, and you need people who are passionate about what they do. When you take something, for instance, like an auto body in the auto body field, and you look in the 70s and how everybody used to build cars, and this one shop's a DuPont shop, and they're painting with DuPont, and they love the race cars for NASCAR. They're watching the NHRA, and they're looking at the cars that they're sponsored by. Then you get this shop's a PPG shop, and this shop's a Spies Hacker shop. All those things were so passionate, and people would come to work and they would be passionate about building cool stuff. They would build the whole car. These guys were so talented. They could do metal work and welding and body work and paint work, and it's the extreme level. Like now everything's a lot more parts changing and less body work and less custom work. And some of the painters, you have to have a really good environment, and you have to be good at what you do because you have one shot to paint that vehicle nice and right. So there's talent needed in what's the new cars. I'm not taking that away, but I am saying that the stuff that was done before was a lot more work, a lot more challenging, a lot more rewarding when it was done because you're coming out with a way better end product. By changing the business to this, one person takes the fender off, one person jams it, one person puts it on, one person paints it, one person assembles the car, one person details it, and out the door. It took a lot away because you don't have that passion, the pride of working. One, you don't have the pride of working hard with your hands, actually physically doing something, and at the end stepping back and saying, wow, look what I did. So we took that away, which kind of ruined our business as far as now the employees that we get, but we don't get any employees. They just don't exist. The ones that we get aren't really skilled with their hands, and we really, truthfully, honestly need that. We need the old days where people go in their garage and they build, they tinker, they're crafty, they're creative. And I get it. It's tough because we're in a fast-paced world. You got to make $1 million. Tools are expensive. Materials are expensive. To go in your garage and actually do it, it's scary. But we need that. We desperately need that. That's what inspires people to build really cool things. And luckily for me, being in the industry, I watch so many people throughout our country that are just amazing. There are craftsmen and tradesmen that are so incredible at what they do, and that's the one great thing about the internet, and that's the reason why we started the YouTube channel, is because we want people to see all these people that are building cool stuff and creating cool stuff to inspire and encourage the younger generation to kind of get involved in this and grow and do this stuff. So that was me trying to be a little transparent on what's been going on through COVID. I want people to understand that this is what everybody's going through. We're all dealing with this. It's not some smoke and mirrors. We're not the guys that are inflating prices trying to get rich off stuff. We don't have like 50,000 employees in the back that are just pretending not to, we're pretending they're not there so that we could sell you 1 million things. This is good, hardworking Americans who love what we do. We put pride in everything we do. We want you to have our products, and we understand how important it is to get the products. If you can't wait and you're not a patient person, don't order. What we've been doing, which we switched over doing, is we have our appointment tickets, as I've said in many videos, where you could purchase a ticket that schedules you a day. You email us, we tell you this is the next build day that we have for you. You buy the ticket, which holds that spot. On that day, we make your products and ship it. We'll tell you if it's going to be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. If you can wait. If not, we totally understand. Unfortunately, our dealer networks are gone. Went through COVID to be able to have products on the shelf and also inventory our dealers. It was impossible. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't get the materials to do it or the labor to do it. And that's one of the reasons why we're giving you this transparency and showing you that we make your products custom made to order currently. Bear with us. Thank you. We appreciate it. We understand it. And all of our customers that get cool stuff, we love dealing with you guys, and we're hoping that we could find some good customer experience representatives to come and work here that could communicate with you and show you how passionate we are about it and show you how much we care about your products or your projects. And we want you to have the best of the best. You know, we love when we create something from nothing, raw materials, fiberglass, steel, paint, all these raw materials, and we give it to you, and then we see you at shows and events all over the world. There's nothing more rewarding for us. I mean, we love it. I mean, I get so excited. People email us, they send us pictures. You see things in magazines and TV shows and all this different stuff. And man, it is so great to see that. And we love when you're winning awards and, you know, not even just at big shows, but just at local cruises and events for you to pull in and people look at your stuff and they're like, oh, this is amazing. And we appreciate all the referrals too, because most of our work, believe it or not, comes from like you going to a local show or event, someone seeing our seats or our product or our services, and you telling them about us and the great experience you had. Which also get one more last thing is that's the one thing that always drives me crazy is when we hear people talk about our shop and say something bad. We stand behind everything we do. I give a lifetime warranty as long as I'm alive. If you have a problem with it, we will do anything possible within reason to get you happy and satisfied. If you go and cut your seats up or scratch your paint job or do something with a screwdriver, that's on you. But if anything that we do is faulty, we will take care of it. You know, no questions. And it's a lifetime warranty. So if you're sitting there saying that we don't warranty our stuff or someone's saying something bad about us, then they're probably BSing you, because everybody who deals with us knows that if it's within reason, we will do anything possible to work with you. And kind of we expect the same thing. We are behind, so it's like you have to deal with that. If you have a RIP product, we have to schedule you and take care of it. Luckily for us, we have almost, I don't know, maybe one warranty a year, and it's usually something stupid shipping related or something like that. It's very, very minimal. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for being a part of the Atomic Autoworks family. And if you're not, we look forward to doing future business with you. Please remember, like, share, follow, subscribe so that we can provide more videos to you about these topics. And I promise you, the rest of them are going to be all about doing stuff. We're going to be building stuff, creating stuff, and less excuses and BS. Thank you.